No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try. I'll give you a beat to see if you can give me a guess on who is saying that. But that's Yoda from Star Wars. And it is such an impactful quote on so many levels. And I think about it often. And I remind my husband of it often. He actually used to have a sign somewhere here in the office, but it's so true. And that goes with the concept of going viral, which if you try to go viral and you even, let's say, purchase things, courses to try to go viral, you're trying and you're creating resistance in the field. So hello everyone and welcome to the Wake Up Call podcast. Today is a solo episode because my husband, Captain Ryan Van Fleet, we own Good Karma Sport Fishing and Educational Programs. He is on a fishing charter and I just really wanted to have this conversation. Often people that come across my Instagram, they think I am a newbie and it kind of makes me laugh. He used to trigger me, but now it just makes me laugh. So my husband and I have had quite a journey with social media. I'm actually super aware, hyper conscious, I guess you could say, of all the aspects of social media, including messaging, including how you show up, including all the different things, because you know what? I've tried a lot of it. And I was a late bloomer to social media, and so was my husband. So we are extremely proud of Good Karma Sport Fishing, how it has organically grown to over 6,000 followers in a very short period of time because we were late bloomers. My husband did not want to get on social media when we started our charter business, which was in 2012. So he did not get on Instagram until like 2018, 2019, which missed such a big jump. We missed that white space, that blue ocean. And we also have never run ads. We've never played goofy games like follow and follow. We've never done things like that. We've never had a leg up from anyone in terms of being on a TV show or any of those things that happen to people. We've had zero legs up in this world. We've worked hard for every single thing and super proud of that, honestly. And there's no shame in that. Like people that try to bring people down for that is just also the matrix. So anyhow, so today I want to share some insights about when we go viral. And I went viral on something about a week or so ago. So just for simple context, and I'll put this in the show notes, my new Instagram is the Melinda Van Fleet. I lost my Meta account in April. Long story, boring story. It did come back, but I did start over, particularly because I see so much value in Instagram and I personally like Instagram. And our sport fishing is Good Karma Sport Fishing _Florida_Keys. And we go viral on that Instagram account more often than not. So I see clearly patterns. And one of the patterns is don't try. One of the patterns is don't try. And we've heard that before, but our humanness wants us to try. Our humanness wants to buy the next course. Your humanness wanted to listen to this podcast. Your humanness wanted to follow an Instagram coach creator and maybe sign up for her freebie and get into her funnels so you could figure out how she did it. Well, she's just selling you the thing that is selling you the thing. Like you got to wake up on this, people. You've got to wake up. You're just making more for those people. And doesn't mean their content is bad. Do not take this the wrong way. But you just have to wake up to that. You just have to wake up to that piece of the matrix and go, oh, wow, what am I doing here? Do I really want this? Am I really going to learn the intricacies, the foundational pieces that really crack that nut? Because most of that content does not crack that nut. They're just selling you the outcome and they're not going deep. So why I really felt called to have this podcast and talk about this podcast is because that's what I do with my clients. Like I go deep. We go into relationships to yourself, relationship to others, relationship to your spouse or partner, relationship to your business, relationship to money, relationship to God, source, energy, however you want to refer to a higher power, because there is a higher power. There's so much out there on that. And many people have many different beliefs. So that's fine. All good. Just glad you believe in something. So with that being said, I have certainly noticed in hindsight, that's the kicker, right? It's in hindsight how things happened, but you also can't repeat that. Because why? Because that would be trying. That would be trying. So when you try to repeat a formula, when you try to repeat someone else's blueprint that's not even yours, you may not even be in alignment with it, you're trying, which creates resistance in the field. So the pattern recognition is seeing where you create resistance in the field and then understanding your relationship to all the components that are needed for that thing. So 3 days ago. So it was July 30th. Ryan had a fishing charter with a family from Colorado. 2 beautiful young ladies, husband and wife, super nice people, grounded people, just really great. And they caught a ton of fish. They caught 9 very big mutton snappers. And my husband is very known for catching large mutton snappers. It's one of the species he does consistently. And consistently is the key here in sport fishing is, sport fishing, there's no barrier to entry in fishing in general. So my husband's very good at catching large mutton snappers consistently. So he caught 9 that day with this family. The girls reeled them in. So they were incredible anglers. So my husband puts people on fish, and then it's up to the angler to get them in the boat. So they deserve a ton of the credit. So my husband was super excited with this charter, so happy. I get to the dock because I always help with the charters, and I love going to the dock. I love going to the dock. I love every aspect of it. I love that I get to meet the people. I love to be in the energy. I love the marina. I'm so grateful for the marina. There's just so many aspects there. I'm a doer. I love cleaning the boat. I love helping with all the things. I love making sure my husband's good. So anyhow, so there's so much energy there. See where I'm going with this? There's so much energy there, so much energy of our relationship, so much energy of the people, energy of the marina, like energy, energy, energy. So the family went to the restroom after the charter. I'm there. So we had like this space of I don't know, it takes people 10 minutes, 15 minutes if they go use the restroom because it's a little bit of a walk. So I just took my camera, phone, jumped on the boat. Well, actually, this was from the side of the boat. We did photos later on the boat, but from the side of the boat, and I just took my camera and just had a nudge, an intuition hit to put the camera on Ryan and record. And it happened to be day 2 of mini season. So number 1, so we had this energy going. Number 2, I get an intuition hit. So instead of shutting it down, instead of saying, oh no, it's going to be a bother, I have to go get my camera, Ryan might be pissed, anything like that, I did not do that. I took action. And it happened to be day 2 of mini season here in Florida, but the Florida Keys, we get the brunt of it, really. And mini lobster season is a very polarizing topic. People either love mini season for the most part or hate it. It's very polarizing because not everyone I'll just talk about the Keys, benefits from mini season, but everyone feels the effects of mini season. So hence you have imbalance in the Keys, in the universe, however you want to put it, where everyone's put out by it, but only certain businesses really benefit from it. We benefit from it intrinsically, but not directly, let's say. So for us, it does tend to be more annoying, but we've gotten over it over the years. Whatever, it is what it is. So it's very polarizing. So we had a hook with this viral video of my husband just talking, and you can go to the Instagram and look for it from July 30th, I believe, and him just talking, and it was really awesome because he hit on, with the hook, a polarizing topic. Mini season, day 2 of mini season. So automatically you've got all of our audience's attention because of how polarizing that is. And he stated his opinion. He doesn't love it. I stated my opinion. You can hear my voice in the background. I don't love it either, but it is what it is. It's a big world. Like, we just deal with it, right? Then he talks about his fishing charter, which is his audience for sure. He briefly opens the cooler and closes the cooler, which then likely had a lot of people go back and rewatch the video because everyone wants to see what my husband catches. Everyone wants to see what my husband catches. This is normal in the charter industry. We're not special. Everyone wants to see the catch. So they wanted to probably see it. He did it really fast. It was not planned. None of this was planned. None of this was scripted. None of this was talked about beforehand. None of this used AI. None of it. He just opened the cooler, closed the cooler, bam. And then talked a little bit more, and it was over. That was it. It was clean. It was no triggers, no janky energy. It was on a high. I posted it right away, simple text, and last time I checked, it had well over 10,000 views, which is really good for us. So Ryan has we have over 6,000 followers, almost 6,100. And we're really proud of this because, again, we did not play any janky tricks. We are late to social media. We are in a crowded ocean. There are tons of sport fishing. We're in the bloodiest ocean. We're in the sport fishing capital of the world. Like, we are the most competitive market for what we do. Most competitive. And again, no barrier to entry in this market. So everyone can fish. And it's so one of those things to get a video that has over 10,000 views and still climbing on when your audience isn't that big and not everyone sees every video because there's so many sport fishing captains, like, that's like really, really good. So the anatomy of a viral video is that. Can you intentionally replicate that? No, it's just hindsight. Live in the moment. Trust your intuition. Don't shut it down. Be open to your intuition. And that's what I help people with, like how to be open. How did we get to this place? How did Ryan and I get to this energetic field place, right? That's what I would help a couple with in terms of relationship. I'm not a I'm not a therapist person. I'm more of the energetics of the relationship. How does that affect your business? How does that affect money? How does that affect your family? How does that affect your day-to-day? How does that affect pressure? Like, those are the aspects that I would help someone with. So we've gotten to that place. That energy is clean. So when I shoot a video now, it is like clean energy, easy, done, bam, in the box, onto his Instagram. So I had one that, again, my Instagram, I started over. So I wasn't even like someone with a big following that started over. I really started over. And I think I had 69 followers when I did mine. So I was just in my backyard. I am a freak about plants and nature, a completely freakazoid. And I had this whole story about this plant, and I only shared part of it. I didn't even share the whole story. And I just whipped out my phone and just shared in the excitement that this plant that has grown all the way up this super tall tree now has an outshoot. And I've seen some of these outshoots on my walk. It's a pothos, P-O-T-H-O-S plant. It has a couple other names too. And it has an outshoot now. And I've seen some on my walks, and I'm always kind of jealous, like, oh, I want mine to do that too. And sure enough, it did finally. So I was super excited. So I took the video in pure excitement and I posted it right away. and it got a lot of views. A lot. It was for 70 followers. I think let me see if I can, do have my Instagram up here. I have Ryan's up here. Let me see if I can look at mine really quick. But I had a lot of views. The difference that I would say is Ryan's really converted because it was super in alignment with our brand in terms of that it's catching fish. Mine had over 2,000 views, so that's great on 70 followers, but I didn't get a big conversion. And my theory is because my video is kind of basic, to be really honest. It's just kind of basic, inspirational, motivational. And when someone then goes to my content's more contrarian. And because I talk about pattern recognition, I talk about consciousness. And if someone is more, let's say, getting their feet wet in motivational, or they're in that space in terms of motivational content, they may not register with the frequency of my content, of my true content, my true dream client content, or the person who wants to be at this level of conscious awareness. So they may not register with it and they may not follow me. So I think there is some aspect of that. Do I know this for sure? I don't know, I guess. But for the most part, that would be my theory. Whereas the one for Good Karma Sport Fishing resulted in a lot of new followers, a lot. Ryan counted the other day over 20, and this was like 2 days ago. So, and it's still climbing. So, excuse me, there is a lot to be said for the viral content that you end up having in conversion. And I've seen coaches talk about that before. Like, don't try to go viral because that may not bring in the right client. So I agree with that. Because if someone who is just looking for very simple motivational content and then thinks that that's the type of coaching I do, they would then sign up to work with me and likely be a little bit overwhelmed. It would take them a little longer to grasp concepts that I talk about in their nervous system because they're just not ready yet. And that's okay. That's all good. It's part of the journey. We all we're there at one point or another, and there's absolutely zero wrong with that. But they may have a harder time with working with me because of the level of conscious awareness and pattern recognition and behavioral concepts that I and feel very attuned to in terms of relationships. So just a different level. Again, nothing wrong with that. So just things for you to be aware of. Awareness. That's all it is. Everything starts with awareness. Every single thing starts with awareness. It doesn't start with matter. It doesn't start with anything else. Everything starts with awareness. I even heard something the other day that was talking about heart, and everyone, I've definitely done lots of heart exercises. There's heart math. There's all that, and that's beautiful work. And I've never felt aligned that it was heart first. I've always felt it was consciousness first. And someone mentioned that, and I was like, yep, I agree with that actually. Personally, that's my personal belief system. So anyhow, so I am going to be doing more of these Matrix series podcasts. Writing a blog just takes me longer than doing a podcast. That's probably everyone has that experience. So I hope to also get these into blog format, but I also really hope that this helps people understand like what I do, because how I work is more holistic. It affects every piece of you. It affects your partnership, your marriage, it affects your business, it affects your money relationship, it affects everything. It affects your health. Your health is so directly impacted by your relationships. Every single piece of health is impacted by your relationships. Don't be fooled. Don't be in that matrix. So I might even go be a little brave and talk about health. Maybe not, because it's pretty fascinating, the evidence I've seen over the years. But yeah, if you are interested in working with me, my website is melindavanfleet.com, and the page is called Command Edge. because I want you to command your edge in this lifetime. Like, that's how we move forward. That's how we grow. That's how we transform. That's how we step into or remember who we are and how we came into this world and what we're here to claim. So thank you so much for joining me, and look forward to recording a podcast this week with my husband when he gets a little break. We are going to dive in and talk about some challenges that we had in this past week in our business in terms of mechanical, and how we dealt with that pressure and how it worked out for us. So we deal with a lot of very big challenges, whether people, money, mechanical, supplies, oh my gosh, supplies, all the dang day long. And so we have a very high pressured business, and we have made it a promise to ourselves that we would share more with our audience on how we handle those situations as a couple in business. And even if you don't have a business partner, I hope that what we share really helps you as well. So again, melindavanfleet.com, goodkarmasportfishing.com, and I will put all this information in the show notes. Until next time, I'm going to close it out like my husband does. Anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Bye for now.